Good morning, everybody. You are tuned to Computers 2K now on the Nissan Communications Network. I'm Amnon, your host for the next couple of hours, along with Spence.
Yes, sir. Good morning.
Good morning. And
Greetings from the Arctic North.
And Katie's here.
I'm here. Hi, guys.
Hi. Gal is traveling. Nick is working the convention in North Carolina State GOP in Greensboro. So it's just us here. Our number is 919-518-9773, Computers 2K Voice on Skype. And today's show is made possible by vMix Software and is sponsored by Tom Sinclair of Live Streaming Gear. So what's going on?
Well, I've been gone for a while.
Yeah.
A couple weeks ago, I worked at a convention selling my wares, and that went well. And then I managed to get sick because I've been working remotely for the past 3 years. And so when I'm out, out, even though I was like drugged up on the zinc, vitamin C stuff, my immune system's like, oh, new people, and so I caught a cold, and that's where I was last weekend. So trying to breathe through at least one nostril at a time.
The important thing is that you're okay now.
Yeah, I'm fine now. Thankfully, I'm over it.
Yep.
Well, sort of, but for the most part, yeah.
Yeah, you're on the way to full recovery.
Yeah. I could sound like a normal human being,
And that's a
instead of, like,
positive.
snuffled.
Oh.
Yes.
Not every time, but once in a while when I go to see my grandsons, they pick up everything. I mean, that's what a kid does. He
Dude,
gets
kids are the
gets
worst.
everything, and they've got immunity to it, which is great. But one time, we knew the whole family had colds, and we went by. We're on the tail end, but oh boy, I got the cold. And I
Yeah.
don't get a lot of colds. I mean, I normally don't. And with this last time, they were all, not all of them, but the two boys had the sniffles again, but I didn't have any effects, which is good.
Yeah. I lucked out the first 3 conventions I did. I didn't get sick from them, but this last one, I guess my luck had ran out, and I was like, okay, time to get sick.
No?
Yeah, well, it's good to get back into it again. Build up your immune system.
Yeah. It doesn't kill me, makes me stronger. What that saying goes.
You should just go and like hang out in the waiting room of urgent cares.
Oh yeah, I should just go licking door handles and stuff like that. That'll make me strong.
No.
All right, so let's jump right in. The Washington Post writes that some economists predict artificial intelligence technology like ChatGPT could replace hundreds of millions of jobs in a cataclysmic what she said, reorganization of the workforce mirroring the Industrial Revolution. I mean, this is disturbing, you know. For some workers, this impact is already here. Those that write marketing and social media content are in the first wave of people being replaced with tools like chatbots, which are seemingly able to produce plausible alternatives to their work.
Yep. I just gave a presentation at work about how to incorporate AI into the marketing department specifically for creative because I'm a creative in the marketing department.
Hmm.
So I'm all over this. And AI AI used to be looked at as a tool, and the quicker you can harness it and the quicker you can figure out to get it into your workforce, into your workflow, into making it useful for you, the more secure you're gonna be. Because if people aren't on it and they're in some kind of tech industry or copyright or anything like that, and they're not utilizing chat or they're not utilizing AI, then they're just gonna get replaced with somebody that does know
Hmm.
how to do it. Like even forget about the AI aspect of it, of like AI replacing people. The next wave of employees are going to be ones that know how to use AI as a tool. Like we at my job, we were even looking into they were interviewing copywriters and they even said, I don't even care if he uses or they use Chat GPT or anything like that, as long as they know how to use the tools and are still a good copywriter and get the job done, then that's fine.
Oh
So
yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with being at a workplace and be able to use it. But
yeah.
if you are
Eliminated.
no, if you're relying just on it, and you go in the morning and you tell ChatGPT, write me this, and you give it to your boss, that's not going to work out either.
Yeah.
It needs to be a combination.
Well,
That's
And
what
it might work out, but that takes the job of 10 people to one person who all he does is give AI instructions.
yeah,
yeah.
So
the problem is that AI, as it is today, as far as I know, it's still, I mean, all it does is regurgitate what's out on
I
the.
I'm gonna disagree because
Okay.
I use it almost every day now. It has gotten to the point where I'm troubleshooting with AI. I've been using Unity a lot, which is a video game software to make games, and it uses C sharp. And I was running into issues, and I'm not a coder by any means, but I need to code in order to get it to do what I need it to do. So I'm like looking stuff online and I'm running into issues and I'm asking it, how would you do this? How would you go about doing this? Like, and it's like, oh, you could try this, this, and this. And then I go, well, I tried that and this didn't work. And it goes, okay, well then try this instead. And then I give them another problem, like, okay, well, this is what the output was. It's not exactly what I want. Can you help me? And like, sure. And it gives me another alternative. It's thinking. I'm giving it parameters. I'm not giving it just facts like A plus B equals C, because that's what you're saying. That if
No,
I
no, no. That's not what I meant. I understand. And what you're saying is correct. What I'm saying is that the information that it gives you, it's getting from the internet. It's getting it from the information that is out there. You are not teaching it.
well,
There.
I still disagree with that though,
You,
because the reason why, okay, so I think of it like it's like a brain. Think of it like a person, right? So the person reads a book, they understand the information, and that's kind of what Google does. Google just regurgitates stuff, right? It has the information, it can quickly look through the book for what you need. What AI does is that you ask it for something and then you give it parameters, as in, don't just tell me, like if I ask where do sharks migrate, whatever, when they need to go breed or whatever, and Google can just give me, oh, they go from the Pacific to the Atlantic Ocean, and I'd be like, well, give me a cool fact or something, something geared towards this, and the AI will be like, okay, not just regurgitating information. They'll say, oh, you think this might be cool, and like give it uh information that you've specified, like giving something arbitrary, like regular software can't do that. So like a computer is really like, whatever you ask, that's what I'm gonna do. But that's not what AI necessarily does. It can do that, like
Mhm.
if you ask for something specific, but you can also give it something arbitrary, and you can give it information. Like for instance, I'll give it information like, I need to target this audience and I need to make a picture. How what would you suggest I do? And then it'd be like, well, I think it would be better to do this because this is what they've done in the past, blah blah. Like that's a thought process, right?
Yeah.
but it still relies on capturing information from somewhere.
Yeah,
So
but
unless you
don't we
have
do
an
too?
if you have an in-house AI that is learning your business, But it also, I mean, it's it's good. But what I see what you're saying, it's much more customizable. It actually can make suggestions where you had to decide all the filtering that had to be done. Now it can actually participate in the filtering.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, even when you look at people, I mean, if you have some new assistant that that is supposed to be helping you with something, and you ask them to do something, where do they get the information from? How did they get that knowledge, that experience? They got it from other places. It's not that they're just thinking. They heard about this, they read about this, they experienced it. Now, when you asking them a person, I'm not talking AI, a person, then it's just filtering. Our brain will just filter. I said, okay, Katie needs to know how to create something. I remember when this one did it this way and it didn't work, but this one did it this way and it did work. So let's concentrate on this. And then come to Katie and I say, Katie, this is the way that I think it should work. This is intelligence, because a lot of people read and hear and experience and they cannot convey it to other people. They can't do anything with it. It
Mm.
may be in there, but it's worthless because nobody can tap it. But the reason why I'm saying this is because of this story here, that it says that a federal judge in Texas is now requiring lawyers in cases before him to certify that they did not use artificial intelligence to draft their filing without a human checking their accuracy.
Mm.
U.S. District Judge of Northern District of Texas issued a requirement on Tuesday in what appeared to be the first for the federal courts. In an interview Wednesday, he said that he created the requirement to warn lawyers that AI tools can create fake cases and that he may sanction them if they rely on AI-generated information without verifying it themselves. We're at least putting lawyers on notice who might not otherwise be on notice that they can't just trust those databases. They got to actually verify it themselves, because there was a lawyer that went and argued and gave a paper about 7 cases that supported his argument, and they found out they were all fake. And then he said, "Oh yeah, I mean, I had an AI chatbot that I consulted, and he did not check. He just boom, got
That's
it."
incompetence
So,
with the lawyer.
absolutely. But where now? Let's concentrate on the AI. Where did the AI get this information? He didn't make it up.
Well,
There was
here's
something that maybe sounded like it out
well,
there.
it's the same issue that you would have for Google, right? It's like if you're gonna look up lawyer cases on Google, you still have to verify that the information you're getting them from
Absolutely.
is legit.
Sure.
So,
But
and
the-
so it's the same thing with like if there was a bad case on the internet and the AI picked that bad case, it's probably because it was the closest to the parameters that the guy gave it. The guy was like, find this case, and the AI probably went online and couldn't find anything like it except for this bad case, and it doesn't know it's not a real case because the human needs to do the research.
Right.
And the same way, if you go to Google and look something up, you have to verify it.
Yeah, I mean, you can't just let AI do the job. It's not going
there's
to
a-
work. And
there's an
that's
a-
go
there's
ahead.
there's an attitude like in journalism now. It used to be that before they went with a story, they had to have it confirmed. Somebody had to confirm it. So what do they do now? What do they do now? Unnamed sources. Oh yeah,
Wow.
we have this story. We have unnamed. Well, no, you have to go to your source. You have to name your source. In some cases, I mean, now there's all kinds of First Amendment stuff about you can't reveal who your source is. But what does that do to credibility? So people are supposed to just take it for what it is. We found out this guy stole all this money from his mother. It's like, well, did you talk to the mother? Did you talk to the police? Did you talk? It's just, it's,
Right.
there's an attitude now that you don't have to do the homework anymore.
Yeah, and it's the other way around. You have to do more homework,
Yeah.
but you have good information to start with. You don't
Mhm.
start from scratch. You have information, but now you need to go and check and verify and all that. It's I don't know if the word it makes for more interesting homework than just go and try to figure something out. Here now you're giving information, but you're giving information that you need to work to verify, and it's more fun because one of these it's correct probably, but I just need to make sure, and that's nice.
Even things like Wikipedia come into question because
Uh,
people will go there, and this is something that's open that people can contribute to. And oh, I that story about this person. Well, I know more about that, and they will go in and change something about the person's history, and it wasn't true. But who checks who checks this?
right,
So
and
it's a community checking, but it isn't always up to date.
but there is a real problem with that because if I go today and I write an article about somebody that is not famous, and I say they are a crook, they're a thief, they killed their whatever, just write an article like that and post it somewhere. Nobody will think about writing an article to contradict it. If you ask AI to tell you about that person, AI will go out there and it'll see that story. Okay, here's some information about that person. Suck it in. Go, 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 go. Can't find anything else. So that's what they have to concentrate on.
So I think if you look at it from in Katie's case, the context is narrow for what she's doing. But in the broad
Okay.
sense, that's where the danger is because you can, I heard about this person. You go look and oh, I didn't know he was a murderer.
Yeah.
And but in Katie's case, she'll recognize bogus information
Mhm.
quick,
That's the
so she'll
thing.
know. That's why we have to have a human review.
Right.
So,
And
Mhm.
that's the thing. That's the human. That's why I mean it's never going to replace everybody, or that I don't know that it's going to. So what, Katie? Let's go back to what you were talking about. So the article said that the first people to go are marketing and social media content
Yep.
writers.
Mhm.
So you are in marketing.
Mhm.
So are you?
Worried about my job?
Yeah. No.
No, and I'll tell you why. Um, so I do something that's very specific. Could it be replaced by AI? Sure. But my skills and experience is as a storyteller. So I make videos, product videos and promotional videos.
Hmm.
And the somebody will come and they'll be like, "Hey, we have this new thing. We need to promote it." And then with my knowledge and experience, I ask the questions. Okay, who's the audience? Where is this going to be? This is my suggestion. I did this in the past. This is what this company prefers, and blah blah blah. Like I have that years of experience working in this department. And sure, you can ask AI, and probably they'd figure out, give you something specific. But I my experience allows me to be adaptive and to be malleable and to kind of weave into specifically to make it more successful, like the video that I'm making for promotional whatever. Where I use AI and what I get when I gave my presentation to the department about AI, it was specifically geared towards creative people who have been replaced by AI. um, they and these people that are being replaced are graphic designers that are doing social media posts, and a social media post is usually very, very simple, and I'm sure if anybody has Facebook, you've seen it, where it's, like, maybe an image with a bunch with, like, big bold text on top of it with, like, maybe a graphic or some kinda, drawn element on it to, like, catch people's eyes, and that's those stuff are fairly simple that you could train an AI to make it. Where it would be hard to replace the person, not necessarily the producer, the one that's the person that's producing those images can be replaced by AI. But the person that's coming up with the concept and
Mhm.
the strategy and the marketing part of it, those people will be harder to replace.
Right.
So,
So go
so
ahead.
you're saying that the ad you see in Instagram that says have tinnitus, do this thing at home tonight, and it's
Yeah.
sticking a banana in your ear. It's like we're going to lose all that.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, you're gonna lose the people that make it. I mean, those. So here's the thing: AI, those images are already being created by templates. It's just
Oh
somebody
yeah,
would go in, they would set
yeah.
up the template, and then they would enter in the text, and they would change the color of the image or something, and they would output thousands of them. Now AI is replacing the person. They have the template. They could put in whatever information you want, but it's just automating that process. Like, but the people that are going to be harder to replace are the ones that come up with a concept, come up with a strategy. It's more like soft nebula skills, not like actually producing the image. So, like the presentation I made, I was talking about Mid Journey that makes images, and the images it makes are amazing. But I use it as a tool for my videos. So, for instance, I needed to do a video game promotion, and this video game was themed. It had like desert theme to it, and I needed a desert image for a background for a video. So I had Midjourney make the background for the video, and then I edited it and drew over it and whatever. But it sped up that process, so then I don't have to sit there and draw a desert background,
And you don't
and
need to worry about copyright.
I don't need to worry. And I also with Midjourney is I used artwork that was already game artwork as like a base off of it, so it was pulling from what some other artists like the game are already established. And then another thing that Photoshop just released, I think last week, is Photoshop now does AI image generating. If anybody has Adobe Creative Suite, you can go and download Photoshop in beta. You have to download Photoshop beta, and it will take your image as a basis. And so if you expand the canvas out, so there's like empty space around it, you can highlight that empty space. And it gives you a prompt, and you could tell it fill this empty space with something else or something, whatever, and it will expand it. Or if it has an image of a dog in a landscape or whatever, and you want the dog gone, you could circle the dog and tell it get rid of the dog, and it'll get rid of the dog. Like it's mind blowing,
Mm.
absolutely insane. Sorry, I went on a
Yeah.
So if I
No,
if
no,
I have
nice.
my base image and I say surround it with pictures of people putting a banana in their ear, you're all set, right?
Yep, it's funny you say banana because I did mock-ups at work that had bananas in them.
Oh,
And I asked AI to do it because it was a promotional thing, and yeah, they had bananas.
I think that the draw ads that they have are sometimes so hysterical.
Oh,
You
they're
know,
supposed to be they're clickbait. All
and
that social
and
media stuff's clickbait.
I'm immune to it now. I
Yep,
mean, I have
that's what
developed
happens.
immunity to it. So it's because this is not plausible. This is ridiculous. Oh, learn about this investment thing, and you go to this page, and it's an hour-long presentation, and the guy's telling you what you could tell you in 3 minutes,
Yeah.
and you get to the end, and it's not what you thought. They want you to subscribe to their newsletter. So
Yeah,
it's like, sorry, been
Yeah.
there, done that.
Yeah. But
yeah, I don't.
they boost their statistics on the web because here's somebody who was there for an hour.
Social
Yeah.
media is so saturated with crap that I don't the only I would delete my Facebook. The only reason I have it is because of Marketplace, really, and and but even that is so hard to deal with because we've talked about how there's so many scammers on Marketplace, but it is very useful to sell stuff and to find stuff. It's
I've
just
had good luck selling things on Marketplace.
I have too. I just I ran into a lot of scammers for some big ticket items. I say big ticket, something that was
I
worth over $100.
I was when I've sold cars, I'm watching the people that respond, and I know right away when it's a scam. You can just tell.
Yeah.
But there were people that messaged me, and I might get 50 messages, even though I put out a thing that said cars sold. They
still
would
want
get
it.
back to me with, how come you didn't respond to me? I said, you contacted me a day after the car was sold. And it's like, and you're yelling at me now because I didn't contact you?
Yeah.
No, you
So-
don't even
Oh, I know.
respond. Yeah.
I just smile and go,
Yeah.
hey, but you're stupid shopper.
Yeah. Welcome to
So
the dummies.
so that article also quotes an associate professor at the University of California in Los Angeles, specializing in digital labor, and she says AI is coming for the jobs that were supposed to be automation proof. And that's the thing is, if it's automation, it normally doesn't require thinking, right?
Mhm.
It's to
Oh,
this,
it does
to
require
the-
programming.
to this. Yeah, but I mean, it requires programming once, but that's programming. That's right. Yeah, programming. Yeah,
I mean,
if it comes to programming, you're right. Yeah. Okay.
so if you run an assembly line and
Yeah.
you need to tweak,
Yeah.
you come up with a new product, you've got to reset. I mean, I've been exposed to environments with numerical controlled machines. And it used to be, I mean, they had somebody who had to program it, and they would save it of all things on paper tape. It was just the way they did it. Now it's, of course, that's gone, but it was labor intensive to set up a machine to do a new product, like 3D printing, right? I'm sure it's much easier than it used to be, but you still have to have the eye for what you want. And if you have a design you can take directly and just plug it in there, the engineers come up with the design and they deliver you a file that says, and you just plug it in and you go. So
Yeah. I mean, when I'm thinking automation proof, like first thing comes to mind is a machine could not take your tire off the car, check where the air leak is, where the hole is, and fix it, put a patch on it, and press it. I can't see that
Oh,
ever.
just wait. Just wait, I'm none. They have those car companies, man. I've made some videos for big companies that have those huge arms, robotic arms
Yeah.
that automate stuff. They could do that in a heartbeat. Like to take the tire off and I don't know about checking the air stuff.
Well, no. I put the whole. I understand. Yeah. Yeah. It's. I don't think people put the wheels on cars in the assembly lines. I'm sure it's a machine that does it, but I'm talking about the whole thing. Take it off. I mean, I have a flat tire. It's going to take a person who's going to be able to take it off and check where there's a hole or what is in there, or if there's a nail in there that can be removed and the tire
I don't know.
repaired.
I 100% think a robot. Okay, think about it. They've got these huge robots nowadays that can perform brain surgery. Like they, I totally think that's within the realm of possibility. I
Well,
mean,
yeah,
hell, like
not without human monitoring though.
oh, totally. Well,
Yeah.
nothing is without human monitoring, but you only need one person to manage the 10 robots.
Well, not during surgery.
No, I
You
was
need
talking
to-
about the car tire.
There were a few stories about doctors that were doing this stuff using like doing repetitive tasks in surgery that they could turn over to the machine. But usually it's them interacting with the machine. Do this, do that. But there were some people caught falling down on a job, and there were what's the word? Outcomes that were not good. So,
well,
but you know what this is going to be good for? If you're a fan of Micro and MicroWorks, his organization that does scholarships for trades, we're going to understand that there are still a lot of things out there that can't be done by machines, and that we need to have people. You're not going to hire a robot plumber to come in your house and go and fix a leak, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So you need bodies, and these are good paying jobs, and they're people. I love to work with my hands. I mean, if I could have been, and even every job I've had, well, most of the jobs I've had have had some type of hands on, and that's why I really like it. If I just had to sit at a desk all day and just produce stuff on a computer, I'd be very bored.
if we had the Jetsons here as guests, they would argue with you. Plumber
Yeah.
robot.
That's right. Well, he had a flying car that fit into a suitcase, into
Yeah,
a
well.
briefcase. So
So to keep going on the AI stuff, so Google said that Bard is getting better at logic and reasoning. Google says that now when you ask Bard a computational task like math or string manipulation, instead of showing the output of the language model, that language model will instead write a program, execute that program, and then show the output of that program to the user as an answer. I will not pretend to understand exactly what they mean by that, but it seems to me that it's like going this way, scratching your left ear with your right arm. I mean, if you already have the answer, why are you writing? And how are you reasoning? How does that make you reason?
and what about intuition?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
not there.
Yeah, so it's you're still
One
and
of-
dealing with people. An AI can be like check you in for your medical appointment, but
Well-
somebody still has to look at you and interpret. I mean, there's subtleties about
yeah,
human
but-
contact that you can't replace.
But remember, all these things, we always say that they're coming, all this development were thought of years and years ago and were portrayed in Star Trek, Star Wars, and all that. So here you're talking about intuition and all that. We can argue here's data. You know,
Positronic brain.
hey, I mean, he could do it. So who knows? Maybe not in our lifetime, but who knows? Who knows?
That's gonna be before. Don't worry. In a few years,
Yeah.
It's you have people commenting on it from one side of the argument to the other. From we have to have this; it's going to be the greatest thing ever, to where this is the end of civilization.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, and you think again, let's go to the movies. What do the people in these scenarios do? I mean, look,
They destroy the machine.
no, I mean, it's obvious that the population of Earth is growing and growing and growing. It's not shrinking. What will all these people be doing if you think, look at what percentage of unemployment in our country does to the economy? It can destroy it. So if you're thinking, I mean, and we're not talking 50%, we're talking 10%. If it's going to replace 50% or more of labor or of any kind of workers out there, what are these people going to do? Okay, you say retrain. Retrain as what? As AI trainers? Come on, how many do you need?
Just go code. Go. You be a coder. No problem.
Yeah,
You used to be a coal
Sure.
miner. You can code.
Yeah.
But Dr. Jane Goodall, who's famous for her work with chimpanzees, actually made a statement it's in the last 6 months or so at some forum she was at. We need to bring the population of the world down to what it was in like 1850.
Wow.
She actually said this. Well, how do you do it? Are you going to off yourself?
Yeah.
To help society? So this is the so-called big thinkers. This is what they envision. Too many people. How are you going to get rid of the people? Well, it depends. I mean, you look at the Dan Brown wrote a story. I don't remember the name of the story, but it was about a guy who released something into the water that made half the population of the world sterile. Now, that's a mild way to do it. You're not actually killing anybody.
Yeah.
But what if they just, I mean, without getting into whole conspiracy theory mode, you could, Bill Gates talks about it all the time. Oh, well, we can't have this population. We have to figure out a way to reduce it.
Yeah, that's easier said than done.
Oh, I know. But your point is you have important, supposedly intelligent people putting the idea out there. So,
yeah.
Oh, I'm going to be I'm a transhumanist. I'm going to transfer my brain to a machine and live forever.
These topics are going way above my pay grade. I just make funny images online.
Yeah.
I want to have an existential crisis.
Well, I want to know what's the best way for me to cut this board on my table saw.
Oh, I thought you were going to say what the best way to cause genocide.
Well, AI, give me a way to get rid of people that doesn't involve starvation, nuclear war, contamination, all this other stuff that makes everybody happy. Let's see what they come back with.
Colonize Mars.
Hey, you could send all the people you don't like to Mars.
Well, it's not don't like the people. I mean, imagine that it came down to this kind of situation. A lot of people are going to be unhappy. What do people today in San Francisco do when business goes down?
Good question.
They move, right? They move to Texas. They move to North Carolina.
The bad part about that is that if once you drop below a certain income level, you can't afford to move.
Well,
and that's the issue, is that there are many people who just can't. They can't move. They don't have the money to move. So you have the people who produce and pay taxes leave. You've got people that are marginalized because of that, and they have nowhere to go. So now you have incredible debt.
Well,
you need, like you said, you need a robust working workforce to produce product and services, but at the same time to produce tax money that covers services, human services. So
yeah.
Well, I'll be right back. I'm getting a call that I need to take. All right, be right back.
Katie says
about something.
There you go.
Let's talk about something lighter. Let's bring it around.
All right. You mentioned Instagram?
Yeah, or social media. Yeah. What about
According to a joint investigation from the Wall Street Journal and researchers at Stanford University and University of Massachusetts Amherst, Instagram's algorithms are actively promoting networks of pedophiles who commission and sell child sexual abuse content on the app.
Oh my gosh.
And they brought an example and they showed that that's what's happening. Now, do I believe that Facebook is actually doing this on purpose?
No.
I don't think so. But
the thing about this is that the bad people are using legitimate channels to buy ads or do whatever. And I feel like most companies have like a firewall, and I don't know the technical terms or anything like that, to prevent a lot of the bad stuff. So like but then the bad people just get smarter about getting around it. It's like that thing when talk about hackers, like hackers get smarter to break into this network, and then the network they make stronger defenses and they keep the hackers away, and the hackers come back and they get smarter, and it's like back and forth. I feel like that's what this is.
Well,
not that Instagram would purposely support them, but
right.
Yeah.
That's the thing. It's I really doubt that they are supporting them and they mean to support them.
Yeah.
But that's the result that these particular people found when they did the research. Let's put it this
Yeah,
way.
yeah.
And
It is the
that's
responsibility of these platforms to keep their users safe
absolutely.
and to abide by the laws.
Yeah.
And if it things will slip through and it's unexcusable, but they if they're proactive and they quickly try to come up with a solution, then that's good. If they just try to make excuses and be like, flounder on it, then that's bad.
Mhm. Yeah. The other interesting thing, development. Louisiana lawmakers have passed a bill that would prohibit minors from creating their own social media accounts without parental consent, potentially impacting popular platforms like Instagram and online games such as Roblox and Fortnite. The
Mhm.
bill, HB 61, would ban interactive computer services from allowing people under 18 to sign up for their own accounts without parental consent.
Mhm.
The bill's definition of online services is extremely broad, seemingly barring minors from creating social media accounts on sites like Instagram, accessing popular online games like Roblox and Fortnite, or even registering for an email address. The bill
That
also, the
Sorry,
bi-
I was gonna say that's literally impossible to do. Like their bill
well,
that they're talking about.
absolutely, it is impossible. The bill also goes as far as allowing parents to cancel the terms of service contracts their children entered into when signing up for existing accounts. And yeah, this is they passed the law. I mean, they do. I don't know why they doing it. There's no. You don't have teeth to do
Yeah.
anything about it.
Well, it's literally impossible to do, and the reason why is because a lot of the schools nowadays, all the information is given to the students online, and like they have Chromebooks, they have iPads, like
Right.
like when I was in school, we used a Blackboard, which was where the teachers could communicate with us, and we could upload assignments, and especially with like COVID. And I mean, I wasn't in school when COVID happened, but like the kids that were in school, they went to online learning. Like, are you saying now that if there's no more online learning? What about kids that can't go to school for whatever reason, be it um, health concerns, disabilities, financial issues? Like maybe they can't physically be at school, but their teachers can still contact them and they could do online things. Are we just like throwing that out the window? And I know it says with parental consent,
Right.
and people are like, well, just get their parents to say yes. But not everybody has that option. Not every child has the opportunity to ask their parents for stuff. Like there's some kids that have to be independent at a very young age, which is really sad, but you're basically ostracizing those children that want to seek good stuff online. I mean, the bill right now, not bill, but what I understand right now is that if you're 13 and under, or maybe it's 12, like you have to have parental consent to get an account. Or a lot of websites don't even allow you to sign up for their websites if
And
you're
what?
under 13.
Yeah, but what stops you from saying that you are 16?
Exactly. You put in your birthday
Yeah.
because I did that when I was 12 and the internet was this brand new thing, and like it wasn't just a place that had like information, it had fun stuff like Neopets and all these other websites that started popping up in like 2005 and 2004. I was too young to technically get an account, so I lied. I said, "Yeah, this is my age. I'm 18 or I'm 17 or I'm 15 or whatever," just so I could make an account on these websites to play games.
Well, that's the thing is how do you
Yeah, so this bill is
uh,
ridiculous. One, how do you enforce it?
yeah.
Two, what's the definition of what you said about online whatever that the kids need permission to sign up for? Because that sounds like it's a blanket for everything. And three, what are you gonna do now to all of the kids that already have accounts? Are you gonna have them go and ask their parents for permission to keep their accounts? Like what?
That's the thing. It's creating a situation where, first of all, it will cause some kids, smarter ones, to come up with ways how to do it. And you
Yeah.
know what they say? It's when they tell you don't, you shouldn't do that, or you can't do that. You want to do it when you're a kid. You tell
Yeah.
them no, it's a yes. It's a challenge. So now you probably are going to have more kids on the internet just because, hey, my friend at school came up with a way how I can log into this, and I never thought about signing on to Instagram. But now that whole talk, hey, I want to be there because they said that there's bad things going there.
Yeah.
I want to
Yeah.
see this. So
Yeah.
it can be a backfire uh, effect to this, and you have no way of dealing with it. So what are you doing? You created a problem
Yeah.
by trying
Yeah.
to protect.
The whole thing is
And
stupid.
yeah, and here I was actually thinking, and even that can be overridden over whatever. If and that's a big if service providers, and when I'm talking service providers, I'm talking about um, the people that provide you with internet connectivity,
Mhm.
the AT&Ts and the Googles and the Spectrums and all that. If if there was a part of that account that parents could go in and they said, okay, we have this kid and this kid and this kid and this kid. And we want this kid to only be allowed to go to certain places. Or we don't want, it's easier to say don't. We don't want this kid to be able to go to porn sites. We don't
Mhm.
want this kid to be able to sign to Instagram. And we don't want this kid to sign to Facebook. All kind of things like that. And then you have it in your account. Now somebody has to pay for that account. And if that kid wants to do something, if you, when you were living at home, you were on your mom's internet, when you wanted to sign on to some service, you had to go through her account. I mean, the service itself was her account.
Mhm.
And it's very easy for a service provider to block this from accounts.
Mhm.
But that's not what they do. They are not a filter. They provide you with access. It's up to the parent to do that. Now, years and years ago, there was a very popular piece of software called Net Nanny that you can do exactly that. And you say where it can go and where it cannot go and all that. And there were ways around it.
Yep.
And kids are the ones who come up with ways around it and they put it out there and everybody uses it. And at that point, okay, that piece of software is worthless. So yeah, you have it all. The bottom line is it all comes down to education, and there's a lot of kids out there that I don't think that it's bad for a kid to experiment and see, but if a kid is so impressionable and so low esteem and everything that social media is people on social media can take advantage of a kid like that. Parents should be able to see signs. Parents should be able to come in and intervene. Something you can't expect the the big guys out there, the law enforcement and the to do the job of parenting.
Yeah, that's what I was just about to say that too. I was like,
Yeah,
what you're describing is it's basically what the bill is doing is putting a Band-Aid on an open wound. Like if
right.
there is a problem where kids are being uh like are being attacked online or what have you, then it's the responsibility of the parents to step in
Right.
because whether they're like cyberbullying is awful and it's a real thing, but hopefully parents would step in if they were on the playground and they saw their kids getting bullied, right? And it's the same thing online. If kids are being bullied online, the parents should step in. Now, they need to be it's a little harder because you're not physically there, so it could be happening and the parents don't realize, but at the end of the day, it comes down to the parents just need to have open communication with their children. Like,
Yeah.
it's a complicated problem,
It,
but
it is. It definitely is.
I don't think this bill is the
And
solution.
that's why it's not being done.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Um. There's another story about AI. Academics, remember this, academics have apparently trained the machine learning algorithm to detect scientific papers generated by ChatGPT and claim the software is over 99% accuracy.
Wow.
Generative AI models have dramatically improved at mimicking human writing over a short period of time, making it difficult for people to tell whether text was produced by a machine or human. Teachers and lecturers have raised concerns that students using the tools are committing plagiarism or apparently cheating using machine generated code. Software designed to detect AI generated text, however, is often unreliable.
Mhm.
Experts have warned against using these tools to assess work.
Yeah.
You can't, I mean, it's one thing that academics are doing it in the lab in the university and feeding it certain things, but to be out there, we all heard the story about that those 6 students who, or the whole class that failed in Texas by the professor because he used one of these tools and it told them that each and every one of their papers was written by an AI.
Was it true?
Then no, and
Oh.
they there was they were talking about the fact that no, AI cannot tell you whether it wrote it or not,
Yeah, I wasn't gonna
and
know.
they took that professor's thesis and fed it to the same
Yeah.
program,
Can't did it
and
say he
it's
was a robot?
yeah. So you see,
Yeah.
I mean, it's but Katie, how long has it been since that AI has been out to you to be used by the masses? Has it been a year?
Just over a year.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're still in diapers,
Yep. Yep.
and
Which is amazing because like uh, every month something new comes out or like it upgrades or whatever.
yeah,
Here's the thing, academics, they have so they're treating it like plagiarism, like so there's software that teachers use that they can feed students essays into and the plagiarism bot will scan the internet and it can make matches of this is plagiarized, this is and they can match it word to word. Like they can do that like identical check. The problem with AI is that it takes it, interprets the data, and then writes its own sentence. So it's harder for this software detect if an AI wrote it versus a person because it could be that it is a unique instance of that sentence that and then it's not plagiarism technically or I don't know I'm not an academic person but it's not a direct copy from something and then how does the AI checker know that a person didn't write it versus the AI? Like you feed it AI prompts, but if all or feed it AI information or essays, but if all of the essays have unique language or like sentences that only happen like in certain word structures in a organic matter, versus like copy and paste, then it's going to be like, oh, this person actually wrote an article, but it's all organic and it's not copy and paste, therefore it must be AI. So technically, the AI software did its job. It's just unfortunately the I feel like writes too close to a person,
Mhm.
and it can't do that one-to-one check that it's gonna say everybody wrote an AI
Yep.
because everybody they didn't plagiarize. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, absolutely.
So it did its job. It's just unfortunately AI is too close to human.
Yeah,
And who cares if an AI wrote it? Like, if
that's
I,
true.
I like the
Unless every student in the class has the same paper, kind of.
that's true. Here's the solution to this. Is if the teachers are super worried about it or they want they're so the whole thing about school, and this isn't necessarily maybe college and academic. I know that's like super high like overhead, but the school is there to teach students how to comprehensively think and how to articulate their thoughts with their information, and that's what essays are. Like, can the in English class they teach you, you know, here's your purpose sentence, here's your theme sentence, here's your defending paragraph, and here's your conclusion paragraph. Have the student write it in class. They're in class, they have to write it by hand and check their comprehension. And then if they turn in a paper that sounds completely different and it doesn't match up to the language or doesn't match up to the thought process, then you have something to talk about and you can address it then. But I don't know. But it gets to the point where if the students were smart, like if they're getting caught with this AI stuff and they're actually using AI and the professors don't like it, then whatever the AI spits out, just rewrite it in your own voice.
Exactly.
Like,
You can, and that's there's nothing wrong with that. It's just like
yeah,
I was always, I always questioned how do people get a diploma when they go to school online, like a bachelor
yeah,
in whatever.
yeah,
I
Good
mean,
question, because you got to check. You got to check their. Well, they supposedly they have
no,
ways to do it.
because you have to do even if you have open book. You say, well, what? When I go to have a test at school, I can't have anything open. So even if you do open, somebody explained it years ago. You have to read it in order to write it. So you can go to the internet and ask a question and say, "Oh, here's the answer. That's interesting." But you're reading it. You learned it. And they
I
said,
learned. I learned an immense amount by doing research to create a class. There might be something, a
"Yeah,
new product that I don't know anything about. I mean, I'm familiar with technology, but there's a new product that comes out. I'm supposed to write a class for it. Okay. So I go and I read through all the manuals and I find the answers that I'm looking for. So now I know it because I researched it.
right."
Yeah.
That's the thing. It's the bottom line is that they want to get that information into your brain. And if
yeah,
you read it, yeah. If you go and you take the test and you just any, mini, miny, mo, and you check, you didn't learn anything.
There was a diploma mill from California that was very interesting for a while because what they did was they gave you credit, life credits. All you had to do was come up with a resume of what you've done and places you've worked. Oh, yeah, yeah. Okay, degree. And they would literally sell them. I think it was back when I first saw this. It has to be almost 20 years ago. Maybe it was like $1,500, $2,000 to get a diploma. But people would see diploma from this. Oh, go away.
Yeah. All right. You ready for specials?
I'm ready. What? Wait, specials? I'm doing specials?
You're doing specials today.
Oh, okay.
You
I'm okay
are
with
the
that.
man.
I
I
can talk
am. I
about
am.
how special I am. Yee.
You're special, Kate.
Thank you, thank
You are the first number one special part of the specials.
Always was.
So
All right.
we've heard a lot about how one simple handheld phone today has thousands of times more computing than NASA had in the moon landing, which is true. They had like a 64K computer that was calculating trajectories to land a module on the moon. But yeah, can these computers are obsolete? Can we use our iPhones?
Yeah.
Probably. I mean, the processor in there could be repurposed to use for other, with other programming. Sure, why not? Okay, so links are included in each of these images. Just roll over them if you download the PDF. So we've got a high-end Logitech MX Keys mini wireless illuminated keyboard. For $66.50, this is normally $110.
Wow.
So, and this is a high end. The fact that it's compact, this would be great for a media center, and the fact that the keys are lit, which means you could do stuff in the dark, which would be very effective. All right, so if you want to build a high-end machine, you know that if you went down the Intel route with a high-end, the price can be pretty stiff. But Micro Center has a PC Builder special. This is a Micro Center Ryzen 9 7900X Asus, that Ryzen 9 7900X, and Asus ROG motherboard plus 32 gig of memory combo for $549, normally $820. Seems like a lot of money, but if you want to buy a high-end machine like
That's
this,
a Ryzen 9, yeah.
yeah, so this is a good machine. I don't know I can't say what the stats are on the 7900X, but I think that any Ryzen 9 that's recent vintage would work. Okay, so you can get a 2-outlet Wise outdoor smart plug for $10. Now, normally it's only $18, so it's very good price, but an additional $8 off. I am very pleased with Wise products. I have them throughout my house, in addition to lots of other companies. I mean, I should be a showcase for this stuff. But Wise, good way to go. Once you get into their ecosystem, I think you'll like it. Their interfaces are good. Okay, in keeping with the Nick tradition here, always finding an inexpensive TV. This is again ONN on the Walmart brand, a 50-inch 4K Roku smart TV for $198. Has it ever been this cheap?
I don't know.
This is cheap, but the normal price is only $238. But still, $40 off. This is not trivial. So that's at Walmart. This next device, I don't know what this will actually buy you, but it is a normally $119 for $45. It's called CarPlay AI box for Android. It's supposed to add a whole bunch of new functions, lets you run Netflix and other things on the CarPlay screen in the car.
And YouTube.
I mean, there's the things you don't get with, like in Apple CarPlay, you can't run videos. You can't run. You can do car navigation, but that's the limitation. So this is supposed to be enabling all kinds of new features. You have to have the hardwired version of CarPlay, meaning USB connection. This will stand in between it. It adds certain needs as a GPS. Now, whether it works standalone without the phone, I don't know that. It could. There is a YouTube video link in this ad here. It's separate from the link to the purchase site to let you understand what this thing does. So I didn't have time to look at it this morning, but I did notice that they had a YouTube video to explain, here's what you get. $45. Okay. 10,000 milliamp portable charger, ultra slim with USB-C, 4 outputs, built-in AC wall charger. That's nice to not have to carry the plug with you. So you flip out the prongs and plug it in the wall. $33 was $39, $7 off, 20% off. The next device here, portable wireless charger for Apple Watch. I have this. I bought this. I paid a lot more than this for it. But this was, you can charge it. It's a 1,400 milliamp power pack with the magnetic charger built into it. So if you run low on your phone, it's like a keychain. If you run low, you just put your phone, you attach your phone magnetically to this and it charges it. This saved my butt. When I went to Alaska last year, the second half, I had a so-called portable desktop charger for my iPhone that you flipped open. Well, the magnet was so weak, it could not hold the iPhone in place to charge it. This thing is what charged my phone every night. So I'd plug this in, keep it charged, and I'd lay my iPhone on top of it. And I thought it was a real great save. Otherwise, I would have had to go find something else. This next one, I don't know. Katie, would this help you if you had an ergonomic armrest for while you're sitting at your desk that would help you relieve muscle tension in your arms? If it literally is a little cup that holds your arm up.
Actually,
What do you think?
yeah, because I was just thinking the other day that my chair armrests don't go all the way back to my elbows, so I have to
Yes.
sit weird in order to get most of my arm supported.
So this is a thing then.
Yeah,
Huh.
actually, I would I would give it a go because there has been multiple times where like I'm working on the computer and I have to sit a certain way to get my arm supported. Usually, I have to slouch in my chair so that my arms are a lot of my arm weight is supported on my desk. But if I wanted to sit up, then like
Yeah.
my wrists are supported, but my arms are just like
Yeah.
dinosaur arms.
I guess it's a good idea. I used to have a problem with when I sat at a desk for a long time. If I didn't have the height of the chair exactly right, my right hand would go cold.
Oh, sounds
Yeah, it
like
was very
carpal
weird.
tunnel.
But if I was it's not carpal tunnel. It's called thoracic outlet syndrome, where
Oh.
if you're at a certain angle, your shoulder starts to cut off the blood supply to your arm.
This is a great idea. I'm just sitting here trying to think how I can adapt it to my bouncy ball.
Bouncy ball.
Yes, this clamps to the desk.
Oh,
So yeah, it doesn't clamp to the chair, clamps to the desk, and so you're sitting at your desk. You have this thing, and it's the two little swing arms where your arms would
oh
lay over the
yeah.
edge of the desk.
Okay.
It would hold your
Yeah.
arms up. So
Hmm.
now all I need is a chin rest now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. Like we talked about months ago, how I just need to be a lazy boy with a screen in front of it. That's what I need.
You need to get one of those benches where you lay on your stomach, and it holds your head up, and you can sit there, just lay down.
Either
Hey,
that or get a masseuse
that's
table
it.
that has a hole in it and put the
Yeah, and look
monitor on
down
the
through it at
floor.
the keyboard. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you know that there was a fighter that was built during World War II that had pilots laying in that position,
Really?
laying on their stomachs with their chin up like that, and it turned out to be not a good idea because staying in that position too long, it was really not good.
Oh.
Oh well. All right,
Anyway,
continuing along. Now, in the quest to have an original name on an Amazon product, I don't know who chose Fat Torque for the name for this product. So the
Fat torque.
Fat Torque,
Maybe it's pronounced fatork.
yeah, maybe it's pronounced Fatork.
Fatorque, whatever. But I see Fat Torque, right?
Or Fat ORK.
That's right.
All right, anyway, keep going.
Or Fatorque, Fatorok. All right, so mini projector, 5G, Wi-Fi, 5G. How do you get 5G in this thing? Well, DLP smart projector, pocket monster outdoor monster. Look at the size of it, right? For phone, 1080p HD wireless. Now, what they say, I had to look up what short travel throw is. A travel short throw. It means that you get a 100-inch image 9 feet away from what you're projecting on, which is amazing. You would think before, just to get a 6-foot image on the wall, you'd have to be like 15 feet back. So it's got an ultra wide plane of projection, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, but what lumens?
I don't know. I mean, you got to look at the ad itself.
Yeah.
But it's $50 off, $249 on Amazon. I mean, it had 834 ratings, and it's up in the high 4 point something. if it's not fake.
Right. Yeah.
So, yeah. All right. So this next one, surge protector outlet extender with night light, power strip, 5 outlet, 3 per side, 4 USB chargers. One is a USB-C. Handy, $12.88, $8.98, normally $16.89. So not a big discount, but very handy for the price. So I have a couple of these in the house that do out expanded outlets and USB charging. And this one looked nice because it has a built-in.
And just to explain, this is the ones that you plug into a wall outlet.
You plug into an existing wall outlet. You remove the faceplate.
Yeah.
If you notice in the center, there's a little place for a screw that goes in that normally would mount to the outlet.
Right.
Yeah. It does not work with what they call Decora plugs. The Decora one is the rectangular outlet face. Will not work with that. There is no center screw. So you have to have the old oval shaped receptacles. So keep that in mind.
Okay. So these cheaper surge protectors always have me worried that they're gonna like explode or something. Like, how reliable are they? Or are they gonna like cause a house fire because they're so cheap?
No, I've never heard of them catching fire. What I have heard of them doing was having very low joules, which you need to have something that protect high on the higher end. In my house, I have a whole house surge protector, which is right at my circuit breaker panel. So I don't need a surge protector in the house, but sometimes I'll have one of these. So I'm really, in some cases, I've got a double surge protector. Whether that will work or not will actually do anything once the first one captures it. But an incoming surge, some of them require like 10,000 volts before it actually clamps and shuts off the power, which in most cases that would fry the device. But I'm not so concerned about the surge protector part of it. I like the outlet expansion and the fact that it has 4 USB ports, 1 USB-C port on it. That's what I could care less about the surge protector. We don't care. All right, next one. 43,800 milliamps on this solar powered. Now the other one was, what was the other one we looked at?
You charge it.
10,000? The first one we looked at, what was it? Oh, I don't know where it was. The power bank. Maybe I didn't get there yet. Maybe it's further
Oh, no,
along.
it's not there yet.
Should
Oh,
be
no, yeah,
another-
10,000. 10,000.
Yeah, the other one was 10,000. So this one is 43,000 milliamp hours. But what I like about it, it has the QI technology for charging, the smart charging. It has, I think it was almost 4 amps capability maximum. Now that's shared amongst the ports, but it's got high output, 680 lumen flashlight. It does USB-C. It's got cables are built into it for charging, and it's solar rechargeable. So if you're a camper, this is great. $33, normally $49.
You know, I've got 2 of those 10,000 solar rechargeable.
Yeah,
And I keep them on the desk under the lamp.
they charge.
They charge.
Yeah, a photon is a photon is a photon.
Yep.
So
Absolutely.
okay. So now, in keeping with the tradition of having at least 1 or 2 low end, but reasonably good processor laptops, we've got ThinkPad Yoga 11E Gen 5. This is I found this on the Lenovo site. This is actually a closeout of an older model, but this normally sells for $710 and it's $229. So, I'm sorry, it's $710 off. It normally sells for $939 new. So this is a heck of a deal. I don't know how long it'll last, but it's yoga.
It's a tablet laptop? What is it?
It's what they call a yoga. It's Windows, but it's got you open it and you flip the screen around and fold it back down again. It becomes a tablet.
Really? Why is it so cheap? I don't understand.
I don't know. The link is there. Take a look. There might be some caveats, This page I was at, I don't think this is refurbished. I think it's just discontinued. So next one was they had a lot of monitors in the $99 to $130 range out there today, but this was an especially good deal because it's an HP 27-inch monitor for $129, and that's $60 off. We've got a Core i3 HP 15.6-inch laptop, 8 gig of RAM, 256 gig solid state drive for $329, which is $170 off. And we've got a Lenovo IdeaPad 3i 15.6 Core i5 for $479, so $200 off, which is a great deal. And we've got on this, I think I found this at Staples. I didn't include the retailers because it's all in the links. I believe this was at Staples. But they had an Archer AX 4400 Wi-Fi 6 router for $129. And the difference between this and the lower cost one, I think it was $89, was just the speed of the Wi-Fi. So in many cases, it doesn't matter. But if you want to look at a lower price point and get it in, I think it's $89, you can go to the same link here and go to the Staples sale page, and it'll show you the other one. Also have a Canon Image Class MF3010 black and white laser printer for $129. It's 20 off.
Ooh.
Where are the brother printers?
This is all in one. That's just a printer.
Yeah, this is nice. This is
Wait,
nice. So it's got
question.
a scanner. Yes.
A laser printer doesn't use ink. Yes.
It uses
Correct.
toner.
Wait.
It doesn't use the liquid ink.
What's the difference?
Much longer life, better print quality. An inkjet printer has a little print head that goes by and writes everything basically on the page, whereas a laser printer has a photographic drum that when it takes the image, it uses a laser to write the image on the drum. Drum turns, it gets exposed to the toner. The toner sticks to the negative spots on the drum, and then the paper goes along the drum and gets heated. It gets transferred to the paper.
Wow.
So it's a much better long-lasting technology. It'll save you a lot of money to do laser because the materials you buy a toner cartridge, it should last. An average person should last a year or more.
Because my printer, I have an Office inkjet, and I bought it. It was on like a Black Friday sale for like 20 bucks, and it just ran out of black ink. I only use the black and white to print out order receipts, and it just ran out of ink. And I was gonna look into buying more ink, and it's, I don't know, somewhere around $35 to $40.
No, you can find how old is it?
Manufactured.
The printer's like 2 years old.
Yeah, I would think that you could find the aftermarket, but
Yeah,
you'll
but
be
I'm
better off.
like-
You'll be better off with a laser. Any way
I know,
you look at it.
That's what I'm thinking. If this one's on sale, maybe I'll just get myself a
Well,
laser printer.
this is an all-in-one. It's probably a printer, scanner, and scanner
yeah.
copier.
Yeah.
So you can make copies with this. You can scan documents with this. It
If
probably
you-
doesn't have a fax machine. I don't see the keypad for fax.
No, who uses what?
It folds out.
They don't faxes. They use emails nowadays. Like when I worked in the office and I had to email people documents and I had to scan them first, like we would scan them and then the printer, copier, whatever, you could enter in the person's email to email them the documents.
It used to be, I mean, only just 3 or 4 years ago did the Department of Transportation, North Carolina Department of Transportation, well, maybe longer than that, but it's only recent, that they allowed you to email them a copy of your yearly your medical certificate for CDL. Before you had to fax it.
Oh, well,
It
yeah,
was
that's
insane.
government stuff is always slow. They're probably still using floppy disks.
Well, they got rid of, you don't have to, you can't even fax it anymore. It's all email, which is great.
Yeah.
Or you can mail it to them. I mean, that's
The main thing about the difference that I see between the two. This one, I mean, I have cartridges for laser printer that are over 15 years old.
Wow.
They work. You
Okay, I'm
can't
sold.
do the same thing with ink. And the other
Yeah.
thing with ink, Katie, if you have anything that you printed, if you take a dropper and drop of water on it,
yeah,
it runs.
smudges.
It runs. With the laser, it will not. Just
Yeah, I think I'm gonna just have to get a laser printer
It's
because
yeah.
I barely use my regular printer. That's why ink cartridges last me so long. But it sounds like if I got a laser printer, it would last me like 10 years.
very
Yeah.
possibly. I have
Anyway,
2 Brother printers that I bought over 10 years ago. They're both still going. Oh, I shouldn't have said that. They're
Knock on
both,
wood.
yeah. It was the wood. I got composite.
anyway.
Is that, I mean, a particle board? Is that good?
Yes.
But they came with a starter cartridge, which meant that it wasn't a full capacity cartridge. But when I replaced it, I bought the high capacity. They had the standard one and the high capacity cartridge. I'm still running on both of those after all these years. And I
Wow.
look at the Brother printers have an app that you can go in and look at how many prints have been made, and it says I'm not even at the close to the life of the drum yet.
Wow.
So
I'm sold.
yeah.
All right.
All right. So the next couple of things here, interesting product. I love this little USB clock fan thing. I have this. I gave this to my daughter. I liked it so much I bought one for myself. So you plug it into a USB port, and the blades spin with they have LEDs in it, and it actually shows this holographic image of the clock.
That's pretty cool.
And it's pretty cool. And it's a fan. So if you want to blow it on your face to keep you cool, it does it. So yeah, I like this. I have it on my desk, my regular desk. This is for you, Amnon. So you can, whenever you go out in public, you can just wear this LED face mask. And so you can, instead of people seeing your face, you can just put rude things on there to tell them, back off, leave me alone.
Perfect.
$35. Hey, they had a lot of, funny thing is, they had a lot of different versions of this. It's pretty bizarre.
Interesting.
And finally, here we go. AI, Orcam Read Smart Artificial Intelligence Assistive Reader, including smart reading feature for anyone who's exposed to it. You have to go on and look at the link. But the point of this is that if you do a lot of reading and you have a site issue or whatever, you can actually use this to scan a document and then have it read the document to you. So it's OCR capable and saves the document. So you got to look. It says 1874, but then it says more buying choices. You get it for $14.39. It says 11 used and new offers, so it might be available cheaper. But I'm not sure I'm ready to run out and buy one of these. But it looked pretty interesting. Had a lot of features to it, and definitely has a place if you say you're a spy and you want to copy documents, right? It'd be real easy for you, instead of taking pictures of them, just to scan them into memory.
Perfect.
And when they stop you, what is this thing? Oh, it's my battery. It's my battery backup.
Yeah, and
I was having a lot of trouble with my CIA mission, so I'm glad you brought this to my attention.
big market for that, right?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yep. Okay, well that's it for specials for June 11th, 2023.
Well, thank you.
It's my pleasure.
And I forgot to mention. Wait a second. Let me put this back here. I forgot to mention that I was playing with the captions. So at this point, if you go to channel 1 of the video, which is YouTube, and
Captioning.
click on the captions, it will show you captions of. It's it's not stable.
Perfect.
No, it's perfect. It's
Oh.
absolutely perfect. I mean, it's amazingly perfect. But it's every time if something happens to the stream and it will restart, but the captions don't restart. So I need to figure out a way how to fix that.
So
But
which stream is this?
the first channel, it says
First
YouTube.
channel. Okay.
YouTube.
All right.
Yeah.
I'll turn it on.
And you have to click on the CC. When you
No,
go,
I don't see it here.
what do you mean? Are you
on the first? I'm on going to the YouTube now. YouTube has it.
No,
yes.
you don't. You don't go to YouTube. You go to Computers 2K now. You look at the live.
Yes.
and you click on YouTube, which is below.
Yeah, I'm there now. I got it. Yeah, so I see the CC. I got it working.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You
But
don't need to
the
go.
default one doesn't have the CC.
The default one is Twitch.
Yeah, so it's not. Yeah.
No, I didn't. It was very, very kind of complicated to do captions
Twitch.
with Twitch. You have to run a different program and all that. This was built in. It's still a beta on them, apparently they say, but
It's working.
yeah. Oh yeah. So if you have a problem hearing,
What?
there it, huh?
What?
What'd you say?
What did you say? Cool. I like it.
Anyway, all right. Um Here is again people relying on computers. A major Austrian opposition political party on Monday corrected the results of a closely contested leadership election. This is within that party after it announced the wrong winner over the weekend due to a technical error. Someone had messed up an Excel spreadsheet.
Hmm.
So it took them some time to realize that this was not right. Now I wonder how big that spreadsheet was. But it's again, you release something without really checking to see. Yeah, right.
That makes me think of was it Steve Harvey? I don't know, some award show he was doing. I think it was like Miss Universe or something. And he had in those TV competitions where they have the envelopes they have to
Yeah.
read, and somebody handed him the wrong envelope,
Oh,
and so he
jeez.
opened it up and picked the wrong person and said, "Oh, and Miss Venezuela won," or whatever. And
I
she's like,
remember that.
Yeah,
"Oh," and then
yeah,
then they're like, "Actually, they gave me the wrong card."
yep, yep. All right, and you like to watch TV?
Yeah.
You need to
Oh,
go fly.
wait
Go,
a minute.
go
I have
ahead.
something to add. Okay, you know that thing about Netflix with the account sharing?
Yeah,
It happened to me. I went to go sign into went to go watch Netflix on my TV downstairs on my Roku while I was, doing chores, and it said a message popped up, and it said, "This isn't, your permanent location, or this isn't a usual location that you watch Netflix. Um, why are you trying to access this account?" or whatever, and it gave me 2 options. 1, this isn't my account, and 2, I'm traveling. So I selected I'm traveling, and,
But wait a second. Wait,
what
you're missing. I mean, where is your account? What is the address of your account?
so it's my mom's
Okay,
Netflix.
that's
So
keep going. Okay,
okay,
so
so we share.
yeah,
I have Amazon, she has Netflix,
yeah,
and we just
yeah,
bounce around.
yeah,
Anyways, yeah, so it said, "Oh, this isn't not a new location, but this isn't your usual location for accessing Netflix," or whatever. It said something like this,
yeah.
and then it gave me 2 options. This isn't my account, and then another one was I'm traveling. So I selected I'm traveling, and it said, "Okay, if you're traveling, um, we're gonna send a code to your mobile device. Access the code and type it in here to confirm."
Yep.
So I called my mom and I said, "Hey, Netflix is gonna send you a code. When it sends you the code, give it to me." She's like, "Okay." So it's got the code. She gave it to me. I logged in, and boom, I'm
Yeah.
good. And it
But
has
you
an
know
add
what? But you know what?
what?
I think it's only good for 2 weeks every year. We were talking about this. I think it's only good for 2 weeks once a year. That will allow you to do that. And we talked about it last week or the week before. Do you
2
know how much it
weeks once a
is?
year?
Do you know how much it is to add somebody?
Uh, like $10? I don't
No,
know.
no, $8.
Oh,
And we talked about it. I said we might as well get another account, a full account. it is, we started hearing about this months ago, and we were thinking, $3, $4. The rumor mill was talking about, and then it's $7.99 a month.
Wait, how can they say you can only travel for 2 weeks
Well,
out of a whole year?
There was something there that said
That's
it's
BS.
yeah. Well,
Because here's the thing, like, if somebody has 2 residences, uh, or 2
yeah.
places that they spend their time at, are you saying that, if so like, people from up north, they have a second, home in Florida or whatever, and they travel for the winter. So does that mean they can't watch Netflix when they go to Florida? Like,
I mean, I think they're still working it out. But I mean,
yeah, that's
now, what's going to happen if you're watching and then your mom wants to watch something?
well,
They're going to
we're
know that one of
usually
you is lying.
I know, but we've never run into that problem before, and I'm
No,
not saying that's not
before they were not checking for it.
Yeah.
Now they will check for it.
They are checking. I can confirm that they're doing it.
If it becomes too much of a hassle, we're just gonna cancel. Because
Yeah.
the reason I use Netflix is not to watch specific shows right at the moment. It's to have something on in the background. Like I said, I was doing chores or I was cooking or I was vacuuming or whatever. And I would just throw on some channel, whatever. And so the other networks like Paramount, I'm subscribed to Paramount Plus and I'm paying for it, and I'm doing that specifically for one show. And when the show's over, I cancel.
Mhm.
I've always had Mom and I have always had Netflix on perpetually because it has a lot of shows that are just binge like you just have them on in the background kind of shows. Like there's nothing on TV or whatever, so this is just what we're gonna put on the TV. Uh, if they want to keep me and my mom as a customer, they're gonna have to have better content.
Yeah, well, that's what we were talking about those 2 weeks that you were out, and Gal and Nick agreed that this is going to do, it's going to promote piracy
Yep.
because, and I mean, forget it. You don't need Netflix. You want
There's so
programs?
many other options.
Go,
There's so
yeah.
many other options.
Yep. Yep.
And
And
what's going to happen is if there is a series or a show or a movie, whatever, that's only on Netflix for you to watch out of, straight arrow, you can find it some other place.
Well, I don't okay, here's the thing, I don't mind paying Netflix to watch a show I really wanna watch. Like, for instance, when Game of Thrones was on, I paid HBO to watch Game of Thrones. Could
Okay.
I have watched it at other places? Yes, and I
Yeah.
did. It's a lot easier just to have legitimate access to these
Correct.
things. But the content was worth the money, it was worth the value. Netflix is not worth the value for me at this time in this moment. If
it's
and so if it becomes too much of a hassle, I'm gonna cancel. But if say they come out with, for instance, they're doing Avatar: The Last Airbender show or whatever. When that comes out, I'll resub to Netflix and I'll resub for however long that show's gonna be out. Or when the new season of Stranger Things comes out. But I'm not gonna perpetually have an account.
it's interesting because Amazon has the capability with their the way they're going now is that they have you can rent. You don't have to have Amazon Prime Video. You can just go and rent a movie. I'm not sure how you would pay.
No, they've always had that where you
No, but
could
I mean,
rent.
do you have to be Amazon Prime Video to rent a movie?
No, no,
So
because
there you go. So it's
yeah,
probably
well,
for the
they
few times that you watch a specific show, it might be cheaper just to rent it than to get a subscription.
exactly. I noticed that so a lot of the cable companies they years ago they started where you could rent movies on they would put a movie on a channel or whatever and you couldn't access it unless you paid like $4 or $5 or whatever it is to rent the movie. And then you would have it for a day and a half or whatever it is. And then Amazon started doing that too, where you could go on and rent a movie. I don't know. You have to be careful because some of the movies you can rent and other ones you have to purchase. So you need to be careful with that, but you don't need an Amazon Prime pers- prescription
Yeah.
subscription to. But I could be wrong. But when I
Hey,
looked
my
into
doctor
it,
prescribed Amazon
yeah,
Prime
my
for me.
doctor. sometimes these digital content stuff feels like a medication if they're good. Like calms me, makes me happy.
Well, well, they're saying that according to a report from Wall Street Journal, Amazon is preparing to launch an ad-supported tier of Prime Video. Amazon recently offered Prime Video as part of its $14.99 a month Prime membership, or for $8.99 per month as a standalone subscription. Subscribers can tack on other ad-free subscriptions to services like Max, Paramount Plus, and Showtime through Prime Video channels. As noted by the Wall Street Journal, Amazon is currently weighing several ways it could implement ads in Prime Video, such as showing more ads to existing Prime subscribers and then offering an option to pay more for an ad-free alternative and other features. The ad breaks will reportedly be short, but there is still no word of whether it will beat Max's promised 3 to 4 minutes of ads per hour or how much the tier will cost. So they're trying to. I think what the thing that grabbed my eye right there as a Prime subscriber is they're going to show me more ads now.
Well, here's the question though. So I don't have Amazon Prime Video just for Prime Video. I have Amazon Prime for shipping, and they included Prime Video with
Correct.
it. So it sounds like this is like if people don't want Prime shipping and they just want Video Prime, they have the different tiers like everybody else in the universe that
Okay,
has a
maybe.
online digital thing. Because Hulu has it, Disney has it. Does Netflix have it? I don't know if they have it, but I'm sure they're working on it. But Paramount Plus does, where I pay $5 a month for the ones with ads, but I could pay $10 a month without ads.
Yeah, but the thing here is again, I mean, they're sure that I've never seen it called Prime shipping.
Well,
Prime is that's it. Prime
but this is the difference though, because you said $15 a month, yeah?
Yeah.
Amazon Prime.
is
So
15.
does that mean you can only access Amazon Prime Video if you have Prime with the shipping and everything?
Oh no, I mean you do get it, but that's not the only way. Right now they
Okay.
said that it's $8.99 as a standalone.
Well, I think they're talking about. I need to know the differentiation if this is the video stuff that gets included with Prime shipping, like that like the ultimate Prime account where you get everything,
Right.
or is it just people that only specifically want Prime Video?
Okay, so they're saying that they will pay for it, or they're changing the structure by putting more ads on Prime subscribers. Prime subscribers is the $150 a year. That's the
Okay. Okay, well
and
then that would piss me off.
yeah, I
because
know.
I pay a premium price.
Right. Absolutely. But the thing is here again, as far as Netflix, you can start getting used and watch Prime Video.
There's a lot of good background content on YouTube.
Yes.
You'd be amazed at
Yes.
what's out there. Free movies and
Yep.
I watch,
documentaries and
I would say 98% of the stuff I watch is on YouTube.
The problem with Netflix, the way that I see it, is a social problem.
What do you
Is
mean?
a lot of people are saying, you gotta watch that on Netflix. You gotta watch it. You gotta watch it. I mean,
It's content. Yeah, quality
and
content.
people are just saying, yeah, okay, I'll watch it. If everybody was saying, oh, you gotta watch that thing on Prime. This thing is great on Prime, then people will go for Prime. A lot of people are just being swayed by it. You don't have to have it. You're right, Katie. I mean, and when we were talking about it, I said it's the same thing as when we cut the cable from Time Warner, from Spectrum. Yeah, Kathy, in the beginning, it was, but I'm used to this. And today she couldn't care less. She's got so much more
Mhm.
by finding out, yeah, there's another whole other world out there.
Mhm.
So, yeah, you don't have to have Netflix unless you feel that all your friends are watching this and they talking about it all the time and they discussing it, and you are the outsider, like you never saw it. Then,
Mhm.
yeah, that's the social thing that I'm talking
I
about.
think it's interesting. So every digital media company that creates content or creates entertainment or whatever has this issue where
Sure.
people are going to spend their money on something they want to see. But um, I recently was had like a mental shift doing a I saw a marketing presentation where they were talking about why people make the choices that they make as
Hmm.
far as like picking a product over another product.
Hmm.
And it's not necessarily how good the product is. You have to think about what is the product solving. Like you're hiring a product for a job. So in the context of Netflix or Amazon, are people subscribing to Netflix to fill the void of boredom? Are they bored and they need something on in the background? Or are they people that are going specifically for high quality content that want to be entertained for 2 hours a day or 2 hours a week or once in a while? Like these are different target audiences. And I feel like there's other solutions that they could offer to retain people, um, customers versus like adding ads or not. Like for instance, a lot of the TV shows that are like primetime TV shows or the kinds that are always on or whatever, like Days of Our Lives or whatever. The people that are watching them, they kind of have it on in the background. It's like it's kind of it's a comfort show, right? Or something like that. And and so maybe they Netflix and these companies release not a tier based on ad, but a tier based on content. So maybe one NBC does like here's The Office, here's um whatever whatever TV shows that are kind of like long TV shows that people watch all the time. Like people constantly come back to watch it because it's their comfort show.
Oh,
And
Petticoat Junction.
yeah, and then if they wanna pay a premium price for Game of Thrones, then they could up their subscription for that time. But they're still getting that money from that customer that wants their comfort show to have that constant kind of thing in the background.
I believe that they don't really think very highly of us at all.
No.
And they come up with ideas in their bubble. Oh, people will buy this, and then they're shocked when that doesn't happen. So
Yeah.
who knows? They don't seem to be very good at picking trends that, oh, people, oh, that's a great deal. I'm going to do it. How can I not do that? So
Unfortunately, with these public traded companies or whatever, they're always worried about their bottom line, and so they're always going for like the multi-billion dollar idea.
well,
And
and they should be concerned about their bottom line, but they need to be aware of their customer base.
yeah, exactly. And they need to it's always funny to me when these companies come out and they're like, I can't believe, we're losing users and blah 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 blah. And I'm like, we saw it coming a mile away. Like wh-
Mhm.
like it's no surprise that people are dropping Netflix or dropping Amazon or dropping whatever.
It's
Yeah.
interesting. There was a guy, I don't even know if he's still alive. His name was Tom Peters, and he wrote about excellence, right, in the marketplace. And his idea, not sure if it came from him, was that any product that's introduced has like a ramp up time, then it's got a market growth time. You can see it at an angle on a chart. Then it gets to the point where it peaks, and then it starts to drop off again. And every product goes through this, whether it's from obsolescence or from new products that are better. But the point is that you need to be aware of this process with everything you make,
Yeah.
every service you have. If you ignore it, you're just going to go into decline. So companies, are they using this idea to say, well, before our current product peaks and we start to go into decline, do we have the next one on its way that's going to be as good or better that people are going to want to stay with
Oh,
us?
look at iPhones. That's why phone
Yeah.
companies come out with a new one every year.
But even Apple has forgotten some of that. They've
Yeah.
had some stumbles. They had models that came out that nobody bought because they were just they were weird, or people didn't like the features, or the price was too high, or
Yep.
they were only going to the high end user. When I'm an iPhone SE user, I've had 2 of them now. I'm very happy with it. I don't need a 3 lens camera, but sometimes they just are targeting, oh, you got to have this $1,400 phone because it has the best pictures. Well, my phone takes really good pictures from my perspective.
Mhm.
But
No.
yeah, so it's interesting to see whether they even pay attention to that whole marketing planning side, or that they just have, I have a great idea. How do you know it'll work? We don't know, but we'll try it.
And they do.
Yeah. I'm going to see if Tom Peters is still around.
A second. Did you? I saw that the other day, and I said, "Wow." Um, and
He's still
here,
alive.
no, yeah.
Oh, sorry. Tom Peters still
Oh,
alive.
oh.
Yep.
Did you ever see this?
Yes. Yes, I have. And it's very smooth riding, apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Katie, did you ever see this?
I feel like I've seen something similar, but I didn't realize it was a real thing.
Look at this.
I mean, I guess that's one way to go places.
Triangle wheels. Somebody came up with something, and maybe some company will be able to say, okay, yeah, this will be our next. Can you imagine how many wheels they'll sell?
Huh.
Yeah.
I think the square wheel would be better. Keep you awake.
When we talked about it last night, Hannah was saying, oh, they reinvented the wheel. Yep. They actually reinvented the wheel. All right. I know you guys do Venmo, PayPal, Cash App, right?
Yes.
So it says customers of Venmo, PayPal, and Cash App should not store their money with these apps for long term because the funds might not be safe during a crisis. That's coming from the U.S. Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. The Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation insures banks' accounts up to $250,000, but money stored in Venmo or Cash App or Apple Cash is not being held in a traditional bank account. So if there's an event similar to a bank run with those payment apps, those funds may not be protected. So without going into farther, so if you have money in one of those accounts, don't keep a lot of money in there. Move it to your bank. And there, I know with PayPal, it's a one button thing to move it to my bank account. I don't know about the other ones, but do that. And again, we're not talking about having $120, $130. We're talking about having thousands. And anybody out there that works for themselves or sells stuff on Facebook or Craigslist or wherever, keep that in mind that the FDIC is not protecting you when you keep your money in any of these apps, in any of these things. And Spence, talk about special. Dell Technologies in Australia, the Australian subsidiary, misled online shoppers into thinking that adding a monitor to their purchase would get them a discount on the display. Even though doing so sometimes resulted in customers paying a higher price for the monitor than if they had bought it on its own. Now that's Dell.
What now? Are they saying it was a mistake, or did they do it intentionally?
Well,
Or
on June
oversight?
5th, the federal court said Dell Australia was guilty of making false or misleading representation with respect to the price of monitors that its website encouraged shoppers to add to their purchase. The purchases were made from August 2019 to the middle of December 2021. So they don't say if it was a mistake.
Interesting. Well, it could be it was an oversight and that they used the Katie a template to put this product out there, and somebody wrote save money by adding monitor, and they just didn't really look to see what really happened below it. So maybe it was that innocent, but still, if people did it, and whether it was done intentionally or not, they're still liable.
Yeah,
for
they're not talking about whether
Yeah.
it was intentional, and
Yeah.
I would think that it was in a way, and who knows, it may have been just a few dollars more, and they figured we'll make a little bit more money. I don't know. All right, it's this time of day.
No,
Yeah.
just when we were getting started.
Anything you want to add?
Have a good lady.
I'm trying to think. Oh wait, am I muted?
No.
I'm not muted.
You're
No,
not
you're
muted.
okay.
No.
No, you don't. If you have to think about it that hard, no, never mind. Don't.
Well, I don't know. It's Sunday morning
Yeah.
and I'm tired.
Yeah, it's
And
fine.
things will hit me. Like the Netflix thing, check. The AI thing, check.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, I do. Okay, I remember. I wanted to say something, but I forgot. Back to the AI stuff. So ChatGPT, I don't know if you've mentioned it, but it came out with an app for your phone. Well, I downloaded it the other day and I've been using it a lot actually at the library. So I'll go to the library and I'll find a book that I like, but it's like not they don't have the first version or whatever. So I'll type in, "Are there similar books to this?" And they give me a list. They're like, "Yes, there are similar books in this genre," and then they'll give me the title, the author, and all that stuff. And so I was like at the library asking it questions about types of books that I like and can it make recommendations. And so I was having a lot of fun.
Interesting.
Yeah, it was cool, and it gave me the title, the author, and a short description of what the book was about, and I was like, "Give me a book about time traveling fantasy genre, whatever." I'm like, "Oh, this is a great, you know, thing that you might enjoy."
Hmm.
Well, anyways,
Um,
I meant to talk about that during the AI conversation, but I forgot.
and it's is it a big app? You know?
No,
Oh,
well, I haven't run into any problems with it.
okay.
I just downloaded it, make sure it's ChatGPT by OpenAI, and I already have an account with OpenAI, and so I just log in like I do on my computer to use ChatGPT, and the
Mhm.
UI is great. I mean, it was crazy. It's a lot better than Siri because I would ask Siri questions and it would just be like, "I think this is what you want," and it would link me to Wikipedia, and I'm like, "No, that's not what I want."
Nice. So now it's mobile too.
Yeah, pretty cool. I like using it out in the wild.
You don't put your phone in your back pocket, do you?
I will put it in my
When
front
you
pocket.
walk around.
No,
Remember when that was a big deal because the original iPhones, not well, early generations of iPhones had a problem with bending.
oh, I
Remember
thought
that?
you were gonna say they would catch fire or something.
No, they would you would sit down with it in your back pocket. And it was when the first larger screen versions that they were putting out.
Uh-huh.
The structure of the without a case was
Oh, well,
would
I have a
bend.
case on mine.
That's not
It's
Yeah.
what I'm worried about. I'm worried about that with the Chat GPT
what, it
app in
listening?
your back pocket, it might bite your ass.
Oh. Oh.
Oh.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks, guys.
No problem. No problem.
It was fun. Spence, that phone call that you got was from the house, or
Yeah, well, so no, I just needed to go out and help my daughter with
Yeah,
something because
okay.
Pam was
Everything
at the
okay?
store. Oh yeah, it was
Okay,
fine.
that's
It was
fine.
just a helper task that Pam was at the store, so I had to run
Okay.
out and do it.
All right.
No worries.
All right. Well, again, thanks, Katie. Thanks, Spence. Gal, if you're somehow listening to us on the way, have a safe trip. I know Nick is having a ball probably over at the convention. But that's it for today. Good morning, Kathy, Hannah, Nabil, Mac, Norm, Donna, Dina, Mati, Eleanor, Sarid, Yaakov, and Yael. Thanks, everybody, for tuning to Computers 2K Now. We hope you enjoyed and maybe learned something from our time together. Remember to practice safe computing. Back up your hard drive and update your virus scanner. And also, don't forget to change any same password, quote unquote, that you're using on multiple sites. We'll be back here next Sunday at 9, but you can always reach us at computers2know.com. Again, Monday through Friday, 6 to 9 a.m. Nick is on Wilmington's 980 The Wave and 107.9 FM with his morning show of news and commentary. You can tell your Echo device to play 980 The Wave, or you can always go afterwards to the recordings on nickcraig.com. And Tuesday, 7 p.m., Nick and Brian do the Infection Podcast for survival games and gaming news. That's it on Twitch. So 7 p.m., twitch.tv/Infection Podcast. Good listening. Have a great week, and we'll be back together next week. Bye, everybody.
You are tuned to the Nissan Communications Network. If you tuned in too late, you can always watch each program in its entirety or download an MP3 audio file of it in the archives section at nissancommunications.com. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Twitter, and like us on Facebook. Sponsored by StreamingGear.com, Carolina Apparel, and DeltaForce.net.